Happy Friday and welcome to another week of the Weekly Peel. Thanks for being here today. I am Peter.
And I am John.
And this is the Weekly Peel. We want to wish you a happy New Year's Eve.
Yes, this is the last podcast of 2021 that you will ever hear. Don't go and listen to another episode of anything else. This is it.
You ended the year the right way.
Honestly, start this 45 minutes before midnight, and then at 12:01, boom, you just peeled in the new year.
Nice.
I did. Wow.
That's a good plan right there.
Peel in the new year.
Well, today we have a semi-special guest with us. He is just a wonderful man.
He's not special.
What?
He is someone that was there from the very beginning of the Peel, before even I was there.
Yeah, I was going to say before me, but we were there together.
Before Maz and I, it was just Chevre.
Yes, welcome John Chevre.
Yay!
I had to.
Yes!
Dirty.
Wow.
Dirty.
John Chevre, how are you?
I'm doing wonderful. I just graduated college.
Oh, jumping right into it.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, my friend. How did it feel?
Exciting.
How did it feel, man? I'm so excited to be done. Like, I just don't want to do any more assignments.
Dude, I hope that they call you in like 3 weeks and they're like, hey, you actually forgot a course that you got to do.
Yeah, they just pull up on my DCPs like, oh, hey, so you're missing like 42 credits.
That would be so sad.
I ended up actually just failing half my classes and I never knew.
Oh, that would be amazing. You should do that. You should go back.
Yeah, it'd be good.
Super senior.
Yeah.
A good ha-ha. Yes. Oh, also, just to reference or to talk about the reference Peter made. If you didn't listen to the episode that Chevre was on before, where we talked about this, we did try to start the Peel. I think it was like summer of 2020. We tried to start it with me and Chevre. And
summer of 2020.
Yes.
Yeah, this was a while ago.
So it was literally, it was almost a year before I actually went through with it. Because it's just like we did 2 episodes, we were gonna do more, and then we just didn't. And then I was like, hey, and then there was like months went by, and I was like, hey, dude, so the Peel, can I just like start it? And he was like, yeah. He's like,
Nice.
So he just took my idea and ran with it, but it's whatever.
Yep, I stole it from you.
Yep.
No, but you know what's really weird is that I found our banana graphic that we have in my phone from March of 2020. I didn't realize I made it all the way in the beginning of March.
So you made it even before you even approached me.
Wow.
Yes, this is a long time in the making. Almost 2 years ago. That's wild.
And I was just looking, and it says that the Peel was kind of like relaunched in March of this last year. So you had the graphic like for an entire year before anything like really got going.
Well, we never posted the original 2 episodes we did. Although maybe we will one day.
Maybe.
You know? from the vault of the Peel banana
lost,
Peel. I don't know.
The lost Peels.
The lost Peels. Oh man.
Did we not release one of those already?
No, we talked about it, but we never did it because we were going to do it on a week that we weren't going to post a regular episode, and then I think we just either didn't post anything or we've had a couple of those weeks.
Yeah.
Here and there. It happens.
Hey, we've been doing good, though.
We have been. So, listeners, I hope that you have been enjoying the weekly Peel and not the bi-weekly Peel or the monthly or the annual.
A Peel a week keeps the podcast blues away.
So, gentlemen, how was your Christmases? Let's just get right into it. The real question.
Mine was short but sweet. I saw my family for just a day, so we were hoping it was going to be a little longer, but just with our schedule, we had to kind of come back pretty quickly. But overall, it was great. I feel like I got in all of my annual Christmas movie watching in.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much, by the way, for that episode where I wasn't here and you guys talked about Christmas movies because it reminded
You're welcome.
Yeah, it reminded me of a couple I needed to watch, and I watched Christmas Vacation for the first time, and I loved it.
Really?
You liked it?
Yeah, it was really good.
I've never seen it.
It's good.
Really?
It's good.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. It was like, it was definitely, you can tell, like, you're like, immediately when it started, I'm like, yeah, this is going to be a classic. Like, you can tell, like, it's just one of those movies. It was good. Chevre, how was your Christmas?
Christmas was good. I had I had family come the week before, but it was just my immediate family back at home, and so it was a very nice and relaxing one, and so there wasn't much of an issue.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, we had a super relaxed Christmas. We had a lot of injuries this Christmas, which is a little interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really random. Me and my son got sick on Christmas Eve, just like out of nowhere. Like we had to miss Christmas Eve service. It just came up like literally out of nowhere, and then it was gone the next day, which was great. But yeah, so I was sick. My son ran out to the porch. We have like a lock on there, so it's not a big deal. You know, he's 2 years old running out on our porch. He can't get out like past that, but he pushed our door open, and when I went to go open the door to bring him back in, he ran towards the door. So I smacked him with the door, and he had like a little bruise, and he fell and hit the back of his head. I felt so bad, and I'm like, of course, right for Christmas while he's sick. Oh, and then my wife was coming with that same door. This door's terrible. We're gonna burn it. and it like it's like a storm door, and it like closes really quickly because I have to like replace the springs, and it like cut the back of her foot open. And then she was getting a can of like peanuts or something like that, and she cut her hand open on the peanuts.
Jeez.
So like, dude, we were falling apart. But outside of that, it was and I forgot this. So listen, if you haven't seen Christmas Vacation, everything goes wrong, and then we watch it, and then I felt like I was in the movie because everything started going wrong. Because then Christmas Day, it gets dark, and I go out. It was actually really nice, and I go out on the porch, and I'm sitting on my swing. And then my wife comes out and joins me, and we're sitting there talking, and all of a sudden, my side of the swing just rips out from our porch ceiling and hits the ground. My wife falls on top of me, and her immediate reaction is to get up and run. She literally, so I hit the ground, she hits me, she gets up, and she runs. And I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, wow, what a Christmas. But it was actually a good Christmas, besides those things.
That's crazy. But those are great memories, like the years after.
And really what I'm hearing is that this door really just builds character.
That's really
what I'm hearing.
It was a character building Christmas.
Yeah.
There you go.
So we hope that New Year's is going to be better for us.
We'll see. Last New Year's I had COVID. Me and my wife had COVID.
Wait, you had COVID?
Well, so I was the only one that got tested. We had just flown back from Louisiana, and it was really going around. And I came down with a fever, like on the drive back from the airport. I came down with a really bad fever, and so I was like out of commission for like 2 days. My fever was like 103. It was really bad, and I had like COVID symptoms, but I still got the test, and they said it was negative. But like Jen had something as well, and I just feel like it was a false negative. I feel like negatives don't really mean anything anymore. Just like it means try again now.
Roll again.
Roll again. Come on, baby.
Come on, baby. COVID. This is terrible.
Yeah, so we did not start. That's amazing. We did not start out the year on a great foot last year, but things are looking up this year.
Wow. And Chevy, you got COVID too. Not at the New Year, but you got COVID.
Yeah, I had COVID a while ago though.
Wow.
It's like in the fall of last year.
Yep. Knock on wood. I won't get COVID. I haven't yet that I know of. I might have. I feel like I might have gotten it.
You just don't know.
Well, gentlemen, do you guys have big plans for New Year's Eve?
Not at all.
Yes.
That's how you know you're an adult. Oh, sorry.
I guess I'm still a child or something.
Well, I should say actually New Year's Eve, I mean, I think we're going to hang out with another couple, and then that night we started this tradition of doing like an annual like family summit, and we talk about the past year and like the highs, the lows, and talk about the coming year, what we want it to look like, things like that. So that's been a really cool tradition. We've only done it we haven't been married long, so it's still pretty fresh. But
just a one-time thing so far.
Those are the only plans.
Wow.
So,
Chevrolet, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'll be driving down to Lynchburg with some of my friends, and then we'll be driving to Georgia for Passion in Atlanta.
Oh, you're going to Passion?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So it'll be a lot of fun. So there'll be a lot of people that I know there, so it'll be a good time.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I'm doing my family something that I've done like my whole life, that we've carried on the tradition where we get a bunch of food. I don't know if you guys ever came over for New Year's. Maybe not. Trevor, you might have.
With the stuffed
I've been
shells.
Have you? I don't know if we do stuffed shells. I think that's New Year's Day, but New Year's Eve we get like a bunch of like appetizer type, like, you know,
Yes,
finger food.
yes.
Just a ton of
No,
stuff.
we've
We
been-
lay it
I
out.
have.
Yeah, we lay it out on like a tablecloth on the floor in front
Yep.
of our TV. We rent a bunch of movies. Well, now we would just stream it, but we used to go to the library, rent a bunch of movies, and we just watch movies up until like maybe 10 minutes before New Year's. Oh, you know what? Both
What
you
was
guys
it
were
last?
here.
Was it Last Man
Yeah,
on
I remember
Last Man
this
on
now.
Earth we were
Yes.
watching?
No, we watched Land of the Lost with Will Ferrell or something. Or is that what it's called? Or something like, it was like something really weird, and he got
I don't
he
remember
got
that.
destroyed by a dinosaur. I just remember that. It was kind of a weird movie, but then, you know, like 10 minutes before the ball drops, we turn on the TV, we watch it, and then we continue on with movies until we can't go anymore. So that's what we're gonna be doing, and I'm very, very excited because it's gonna be a grand old time. Movies have always
That's like-
been. Go ahead.
That's like the most solid New Year's Eve tradition I've ever heard, to be honest.
Wow,
Pretty good.
Thank you. That was great, Peter.
It was a great time.
That's a great compliment. Yeah, so I'm excited for that. Movies have always been like a very big part of New Year's for us, just because that's what we do, which is the perfect segue into why we're all here this
Perfect
week.
segue.
Perfect segue, dude. I've been crafting this for months.
Flawless.
I know. The best part of the segue is that we talk about the segue. That just really smooths it out, you know?
Oh yeah.
It's a smooth transition. Yeah.
We're be talking about movies and shows that made us cry.
Movies that'll make a grown man cry. It sounded like you were gonna play a drop or something there, and I was like, "Does he have a drop?"
Movies that
He
made
just
us cry.
Stop talking.
That's the drop. I got to get rid of that boo thing. All right, gentlemen, how are we doing this? We do this
That
every
boo
time.
thing. Double meaning.
I got
right,
it. Took me a second.
What the heck's going on?
Peter, come on. Why don't you kick us off?
Movies that made us cry.
Yes.
So
Wow.
I don't know.
Such good structure.
Okay, I do. There is a reason that this idea concept for podcast popped into my head. Was like I was saying, I was watching all these movies, and one in particular, like it made me kind of, you know, emotional for a second. I was like, dang, like where did this come from? So I should like say up front, I've never like all out like, you know, tears have fallen from my face
Really?
cried at a movie.
Oh, I'm okay.
No, like
Okay.
I don't know why, like they don't get me like that. But for me, like I think my equivalent of this is that like I feel that lump in your throat a little
Yeah,
bit, and like
yeah.
you kind of feel like tears like spring to your eyes if they don't actually like come out.
I feel that.
So that's kind of my equivalent. But the first time I remember this happening was, and I'll just call it like crying. But the first time I remember like crying in a movie was in a movie theater, and it was when I was watching Dark Knight Rises.
Really?
What?
Yes,
Dude.
Yeah, I know.
Why?
When?
I know.
Like,
And I thought it was
Batman
so
just did
funny.
So good.
Dude, he did. And dude, it was the scene right at the end where Batman he flies off in whatever his bat pod thing is called. He flies off with the nuclear bomb and like sacrifices himself but saves the whole city. But the scene that got me, and this blew my mind, because I had been watching this series like with my dad, starting with Batman Begins and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I was kind of catching up on those first two, and so The Dark Knight Rises was like my first one in theaters. But anyways, I just loved all these characters so much. But I was rewatching the scene actually before this podcast, and the part that gets me is when Batman gets into the plane that he's in. He's about to fly off with the bomb, and Jim Gordon says like, shouldn't the people know like, you know, who saved them, and I don't remember the exact lines, but Batman's line is like, anybody or a hero can be anyone. It's a little clunky, but it says a hero can be anyone, even someone doing something as simple and reassuring as putting a coat around a young boy's shoulders to let him know the world hadn't ended.
Oh my
And he's
gosh,
referring
bro.
he's referring back to when his parents died
Oh.
as like a 9-year-old, and Jim Gordon, he's like in the police station, and Jim Gordon comes up and puts his coat around young Bruce Wayne's shoulders. And here they are like 30 years later, and Batman's like letting Jim Gordon know who he is. And then they flash back to that scene, and that's where like the tears like they sprung to my eyes. I felt it, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, what just happened?"
Not gonna lie, I'm tearing up right now. I don't.
I didn't expect that. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it really got me.
Dang.
And even did to a lesser degree, but it still did like when I rewatched the scene today.
Oh.
So that was the first memory that I have of that happening with the movie. So I don't know why it doesn't happen to me very often, but yeah, that was the first time.
I feel like for you, it's a lot more like these moments are very like inspirational type of like happy cry things. I could see you getting like yeah.
If there's like a sad moment, that really has never gotten me for some reason.
Dude, maybe you're a sociopath with no sympathy.
Yeah, that's completely possible.
Yeah, totally. No.
I need to explore that a little bit.
Wait, no, don't do that.
I'm just kidding.
Don't do that, Peter.
Retraction.
All right, who's up next?
Chevrolet.
I'll go.
The guest of honor.
Yes. So this one is kind of an interesting one because it actually has it actually has nothing to do with a specific scene.
Okay.
And so
you just cried the whole time.
Yeah, no, it was just perpetual crying. Like, yeah, I just got dehydrated and everything.
Hospital of 3 weeks, the whole.
Yeah, it just wasn't good. I had an IV. Yeah. No. So, actually, the very first time I watched the show, I didn't cry. But now, every single time I watch it here on after, I do. And it's like a general overtone of me just feeling nostalgic and almost like crying. And so you're gonna be surprised by this one. It's
getting chills already.
I know,
it's
gonna be something really weird.
It's Stranger Things, season 1.
Oh,
really?
It is.
Wow, you've been a big Stranger Things fan.
I have. So there's. I'm thinking back now, and there's no specific scene that really just like, man, I'm gonna cry.
Yeah.
Right. But really, it's just the emotions that were invoked the very first time that I watched Stranger Things. Yeah. And I can vividly remember the very first time I watched it. I was upstairs and on top of my couch, and I binged it in 2 days. I watched like first half, the second half. It was just 2 days, and I watched it. And then I just remember every other time that I watched it, like I would almost get tears of just the nostalgia of watching it. But also because of like,
it's so powerful.
Wow, that's powerful.
Just the way that like the movie was made in such a way that's like nostalgic of the older movies from like previous like decades. It really just reminded me of that because I grew up on some of those movies, and so this TV series reminds me of that.
It brings it all back.
Yep, brings it all back.
Yeah.
So no particular moment.
No particular moment. So this is slightly different from like. Like a specific scene, though.
But
Gotcha.
you know what? That's powerful. Like that. Like I know we made a joke. Like, wow, that's powerful. But no, but like, just like the fact that it's so nostalgic and like you're so like you're just overwhelmed. That's wow. That's that's manly.
That's one way to
Real
put
men
it.
cry.
Real men
We're
cry.
establishing that today.
Yes. Amen.
A lot. We
Amen.
cry a lot.
I'm crying right now. Every time I hear the theme music for the Weekly Peel, I tear up. No. All right. Well, I'm gonna go with Nacho Libre. No, I'm just kidding. I never cried in that movie.
Wow.
I have a list. We talked about it of 11 things. The mixture of shows and movies, but I'm gonna talk about this one first because it's the first one that came to mind. That I eventually want to do a review of this movie because I absolutely hated it so much, but it made me cry.
Hated it so much.
Dude,
That he has to put it on the list.
I'm not gonna reveal what it is yet. I'm gonna build it up. So this movie, my wife and I watched this movie. I was like very reluctant, and we're watching it, and we keep watching it, and it just keeps getting more and more stupid, more and more frustrating. I hate the title character so much that I'm just like, this movie is terrible. And then it gets to the end of the movie, and the whole movie, you're like, this character sucks. This character's the worst. You're like there's nothing good about this character. And then the end. So the movie is Marley and Me. Have you guys seen this?
Oh.
Dude, this dog was
when
the
I was very
worst
young.
dog ever. Like, I mean, this thing just stunk. Like, just put it out of its misery. I was like, I hate this dog. No, not really. But,
Wow.
but I was like, this dog is the worst. Like, there's nothing redeeming. Like, it's not even a good dog. Doesn't do anything good. It just is bad. The whole movie. They have kids. It's bad. They get a babysitter. It's bad. They move. It's bad. The dog is just bad the whole movie. The entire movie. The rest of the movie is good, but the dog sucks with a capital S. I mean, just terrible. And then, all of a sudden, I think the dog gets like, I don't remember, maybe like cancer or something. I don't know what happens.
Yeah.
But then is that what happens?
Right.
Yes. And it's old, and then you just realize, oh my gosh, this poor dog. And then like Owen Wilson's there, like, wow, and he's crying. And he doesn't and like he's
Wow,
crying.
You have cancer.
Wow. Wow. And then like you just see how much his family loves this terrible dog. And I literally was like, I look over, my wife's crying, I'm crying, and I'm like, I hate this movie. I hate this dog. Why am I crying? And it just was so emotional that it made me cry. And then I was like, I guess the dog wasn't that bad. And then I thought about it. I'm like, no, that dog stunk. But it was sad when it was dying, and it died.
And you know why it hit home? It's because that's just the gospel right there.
Wow.
Like we're the dog, and Owen
dude.
Wilson is God.
Wow.
Loving us.
Wow.
Loving us through all of our junk.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, it's
All right,
amazing.
let's just
It's so
let's
funny.
have the worship team come back up for altar, and we're gonna pray
Altar
this
call.
out.
Let's go.
That's powerful.
You know what's funny though? That whole time when you were describing it before you revealed the movie, I thought you were talking about Captain Marvel.
Oh, dude! If I cried in Captain Marvel,
if you
put me
cried,
out of my misery.
I'd leave.
Yeah, no. Captain Marvel. Let's just throw that out there. Stunk. It was terrible. I cried because I wasted my time.
Wait, well, I mean,
Alright.
you could put that up there because that was such a trash movie, you know?
I cried out of pure pain.
I think there was, like, blood coming out. Like, it just wasn't good.
We have to put an explicit warning on this episode.
All right, so this is one that I was watching this in college, and I'd seen it many times before, and several of these are movies that I've seen like more than once, and it didn't get me the first time, but just for whatever reason, like whether it was like the mood I was in that day or I was like feeling emotional or something already, it just hits different. So I was watching The Prince of Egypt. And shut up, John.
No, it's such a Peter pick.
Of course
Dude,
you would. Of
you
course you would
love
pick that.
Such a good movie,
Bro.
on all fronts. That's right. I put this in one of
You
the
did.
it's one of the best kids movies, right?
Bro, we gotta buy you like the Blu-ray version of this movie or something.
Yes.
I'll get a VHS for him.
So yes, just the scene at the end where they're all like being led out of Egypt, out of slavery, like 3 million of them, and there's like that song, and they're like singing in Hebrew or whatever it is. And if it's about the Bible, I think it just already has a layer of like, you know, extra weight behind it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But dude, for whatever reason, I was like, I remember like posting it on like my Instagram story. I was like, why am I like crying in this movie right now? But I was just there, like on my hall, watching it.
I'm trying to remember it.
When You Believe.
Oh,
Is that it?
When you do you believe
There can be.
Oh,
There can be miracles.
is
when
there
you believe.
can be miracles? Do you
Do you believe in miracles?
You get the picture. If you haven't seen it, go listen or watch it.
That's amazing.
Something. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, Peter.
So, that's another one.
That is very emotional. I can see that. I can see that.
It's emotional. It's a Peter pick. It's
It's
everything.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I know.
So
All right.
for this next one, so I have to preface it. I don't recommend that people watch this TV series. But
I know what it is.
Not
yeah,
Peel approved.
I'm
I know
sure.
it is too.
I'm sure you guys do. It is Game of Thrones.
Yep.
And it is a specific scene. It is season 6, episode 5, and it's
5
called,
minutes 38 seconds.
Yeah.
It's towards the very. It's actually the last scene, and it's called "Hold the Door." That's the title of this episode, and so this specific scene is a culmination of a specific like side character. It's not even a main character, and yet you're bawling your eyes out. It's a side character who you've seen throughout like 60 episodes already, right? And so all of a sudden, there's like really weird stuff that happens, like time travel and everything. But what it is this young boy was handicapped randomly when he was like going to be like 14 or something like that.
Okay.
And so all of a sudden, like, you get this flashback, but previously, like, you have seen him for the past 60 episodes as an old man, and the only thing that he can say is Hodor. And so what ends up happening is that this man, when he was younger, he was messed up by somebody. And so what ends up happening is he becomes handicapped, and for the rest of his life he says Hodor, but the entire purpose of his life for 50 years that he's been alive is literally to hold one singular door. That was his entire purpose. So it sounds really stupid when I extrapolate it like this. It really does. But like the emotion that was invoked, because like you have been with him for 60 episodes. He did have to hold the door. And so really it was like it really like saved the whole series, because like without him holding the door, like nothing else would have happened for the next like 20 episodes. And so it's actually a very, very impactful one, but it's actually very hard to explain without like 60 episodes of like context.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that an intentional naming? Like,
yes.
Hold the door, Hodor?
Yes. It was very intentional, but you never knew.
That's powerful.
You never knew why he
powerful.
only said Hodor and why his name was Hodor.
Wow. So
until that episode.
So like after that, because you worked at the funeral home too, when everyone knows on this podcast we worked at a funeral home, and half of our job is holding doors. Did you tear up?
I just cry every single time. So they say, "Hey, John, could you hold that door?" And I just start bawling my eyes out all of a sudden.
He like runs away.
No, not again.
Hodor. Oh my god.
Oh, that's awesome.
Wow. That's amazing. Okay, so again, I have 11, so I'm trying to narrow this down. I could either, okay, I was gonna go with a Christian film, but
God's Not
I'm
Dead.
gonna go what?
Number 7.
Wow.
God's Not Dead. Number 7 made me cry. No, you heard it here first. No, I'll just say what it is, but I'm not gonna pick it. I'm gonna go to another one, but I can only imagine. Dude, that movie wrecked me. But I'm gonna go with the TV show because I gotta throw one in there for Chevrolet. WandaVision. One of two TV shows that have made me cry.
WandaVision.
I can't remember. I might have cried in The Office when Michael leaves. I don't remember, but I was close. I know. But WandaVision made me bawl at the last
Wow.
episode. Okay, so there's something that happens that when you become like a dad, right? Like where like I remember we watched the movie Hook. Have you guys ever seen that movie? It's like essentially Peter Pan goes back to Neverland. He's played by Robin Williams because his kids get stolen. Fantastic movie. He's like an adult and everything. He has to remember how to be Peter Pan. Super cool movie. And I won't. This isn't on the list or anything like that. I think I might have cried after I had it, which is not. It's not an emotional movie, but like after having it was literally like right after having a baby, and then all of a sudden his kids get stolen, and like he's reaching out, and they're like, "Daddy, just save us, and I was like, this is so emotional. But so this is one of those things where WandaVision, like when she's saying goodbye to her kids, knowing that they're not gonna come back. That they're gone, like these kids that she loved. Like I know it was all kind of fake, kind of real. I don't know. It was like a weird like reality, but like you've got like she got attached to these kids, all this stuff, and obviously she got attached to her kids, and then she knows that they're about to disappear. Like she knows that like this whole reality that she created is like closing in on itself, and they're about to go, and she's already gone through so much traumatic things, and then like she says like goodnight to them or whatever it is for like the last time, and then she goes to Vision and she says like bye to him, knowing that he's like this is it. Like Vision's like this is it. He's gone after this, and that whole exchange that they had was like I was just in tears, dude. I was not ready for it at all.
Dang.
Like it just wrecked me.
Marvel stepped it up this year.
They have.
Definitely with
They
their
have.
shows.
They really have.
I think what ended up happening is for Disney Plus, they also have a subscription where every single month they somehow like they mail you like onions, and so you're just confused why you're crying all the time.
Oh boy, my monthly onions. Time to watch WandaVision. Oh my gosh, that's
Welcome
amazing.
to the monthly onion
Oh.
and the weekly peel. That's our new service. We're
Yeah.
gonna start mailing
The
people
monthly
a banana a week.
One singular banana.
Yeah, if you wanna be follow us on Patreon and support us, we'll send you a banana a week for $5 a month.
I love that.
That would be funny.
Let's do it. Get on that, Peter.
Hey, Peter, do this.
Let's get on that. All right, so I have what about two more?
Wait,
How does
Cherry,
that sound?
how many do you have left? I think you only have one more, don't you?
I got two more.
Okay, that works. We can do it.
Two
We
more?
can go two more.
Okay, sounds good. So this one is, I should preface this with like you said, with when you became a dad, like everything,
Yes.
just things hit different. That happened like when I got married. I like was so much more emotional about things.
Yes.
Which is awesome. But
You're more in touch with
so-
your inner self.
I was watching. I am, but so I was watching this Christmas movie that you guys know, and there was a scene that I don't know why. I think it might have been a thing of, again, I was in like a weird emotional mood or something. I was like primed. You know what I mean? But
Primed
shut
and
up.
ready. You're
But I was
ripened.
watching the Santa Claus with Tim Allen.
Oh yes.
And there was just a scene where, oh wait, which scene was it? I think there was like two moments that got me, but when he goes back to like the real world and he like shaves and whatever, he looks like a
Yeah.
normal guy, and like the way that like kids like still come up to them or come
Oh
up to
my
him
gosh.
because they know that he's Santa Claus.
Yes.
There's just like something so like sweet about that. And so that got me a little bit, but there's a scene later on in the Santa Claus 2 actually, where he's at a Christmas party and he's like giving out, like he like finds a bag of toys
Claus
and
2,
he's
yeah.
pretending, and he's giving them out to all these people, and then so he's like saying their names and like and they're coming up and they're so happy like taking their present. And he's like, all right, Mark, like whoever, and this guy Mark comes up and get it, and he's like, he's like balding, and he just is like middle aged now, but and then Tim Allen says to him like, he's like, you haven't changed a bit, Mark, and it's like, like he knows him like from when he was a kid,
Dude, that's
and like
amazing.
I don't know why it wasn't like I was like crying, but that like got me
You're
in the
sobbing.
Yeah,
feels, yeah.
that got
Oh,
you.
Mark.
That got you a lot.
Bro,
That got me in the feels, man. I don't know why
Dude.
with Santa Claus.
the Santa Claus movie is my favorite Christmas movie, and that trilogy
Wow.
is fantastic.
It is
Thank
great.
you
I'm a
for
big-
giving it the recognition.
Big diehard
You're
guy
welcome.
You're
Big time.
diehard. That's it.
for Christmas.
Yes, yes, that's a great Christmas movie.
It is a great Christmas
Yes.
movie. Oh man. So for mine, I actually have a movie now.
Oh,
So this is actually one of my favorite movies. It is Gladiator.
never seen it. I need to.
Ooh, dude,
Yes.
you
I
haven't?
need to. I need.
I'm
That
so
is-
surprised.
I know.
Russell
That-
Crowe was great, and
That's a
yeah.
great pick. That might have gotten me too.
Yeah. So it's that last scene. So obviously, like, that last scene doesn't mean much if you just don't truly understand the context of like the rest of the movie. I mean, he was a great
Yeah,
guy.
John, you want to step out for a
Yeah,
second
yeah,
when we
yeah,
talk
yeah,
about
hold on,
this?
no. Spoilers.
He was just a great guy, and
Great guy.
yeah, he was, and he was a Roman like general. What?
Wow.
I mean, do you want me to spoil it for you or no?
I go.
Because
for
I could
it,
just okay. So he was a Roman general, and he was commanding, like tons and
Roman
tons
soldiers.
of Roman soldiers, and he was friends with the emperor. But emperor dies, and so he gets eventually sold into
R.I.P.
slavery, and he has
Oh
to
my
be
gosh.
yeah, he gets sold into slavery, beaten up, and he loses his family in the process, and then he has to fight his way as a gladiator under the new emperor, who the new emperor hates him, and there's issues with him because he's the one that caused a lot of the problems. And so at the very end, he kills the new emperor in a duel, and then he frees and releases all of his soldiers that were under his command previously, as well as enacting who's going to be the new emperor. And then like there's just scenes where it cuts where he's just walking through the fields, where he's able to reunite with his family because he's like it represents that he's slowly passing out of this world and into the next.
Dang. That's very emotional.
Yep.
I need to see it.
Oh no! What gets me is this is like the manliest movie. Like when he reveals himself to the new emperor, because the emperor that like sold him into slavery doesn't know that he's a gladiator, and so he finally like works himself up to that point of like meeting the emperor because he's so famous as a gladiator now, and the emperor's like, all right, take your mask off. Like, who are you? And he says like, my name is, I don't remember his
something
full
Maximus.
name, but it's something Maximus, husband to a murdered wife, father to a murdered son, and then like
Just
he goes
keeps on
off
going
this
on
My
and
name is
on.
Indigo
He keeps-
Montoya. You killed my father.
I-
Prepare to die.
And I think he
Brad.
says, and I will have my vengeance or something like
Oh.
that. And it's like you get chills in that scene.
I just got chills right now.
I gotta see it. I gotta
It's
see
so
this.
good.
Because right now this
It's
means
so good.
nothing to me, but I want it to mean something.
It's a great
It
movie.
means something to Peter and I.
Yeah, that was I never thought about that pick, but that's a great one, Chev.
Wow. All right, this one's really after that. Wait. Oh yeah, it was Chevrolet's. I was like, wait, which one? Whose pick was that? This is gonna be my last pick because I have to say, and it's very, very on par with Chevrolet's manly movie. The Notebook. It's just-
Oh my
No.
goodness.
Hold
Oh,
on. You know what?
no.
Listen. I'm gonna expose myself here because I need to tell the world. I watched this movie, and I was primed, as Peter said. I watched it in the middle of the night, and I was like, I think a senior in high school, which is actually kind of worse. But I was like the middle of the night, so I was really sleep deprived, and I was like, I'm just gonna watch a movie. I was like, I'm gonna find the Notebook. I don't know. I've heard about it, so I'm just gonna watch it. I don't know why I decided to, dude.
You were on a kick where you would do that all the time.
We just like
in high
watch
school.
movies like randomly.
Yeah.
Yes, I was, and I would always on my phone in the middle of the night. Like I don't know, should have been asleep, but, and I watched The Notebook, and dude, it was the cheesiest, stupidest movie that made me cry, and it was just like there was so many moments where I'm like, wow, this guy really loves his wife, and like the fact that he's going. Have you guys ever seen it?
I didn't think they were married.
Yes, I
Well,
have
they're
seen
married at the end, but like what I'm saying, he's going
Okay.
like and like reading this book to his wife, and she doesn't remember who he is, which is like heartbreaking. But he's telling them their story, and then like he goes through the whole movie, awesome story, all this stuff, like awesome movie, and then you get to the end, and she has a moment of clarity where she just remembers everything, and they're like and they're just there together, and it's like at night, and like. She's just like crying. He's crying. They're dancing. And then this is so stupid. I actually hate the ending of the movie, but it made me cry like a baby.
Keep talking.
Is when they get in bed to like lay down because she's like, I don't feel well. I gotta lay down. And he like cuddles up to her, and they just like both die. Like,
What?
Hold up.
and okay, I'm not sure, and I don't know if I can quickly look this up. I want to say again, it's been years since I've seen it. I think they fade away.
It's been a year.
No way.
Dude,
Like a
hold on,
Jedi
I'm pretty sure
after
they
they die.
fade away. But dude, I was
They
just
become one with the
sobbing.
Force.
They just lay in bed and they just die. They're old and they just die together, and it was just like, holy heck! Like I was not
They
ready
made a
for
blood
this.
pact. If I die, you die.
You're done, Zod.
Dude, yeah, I'm gonna look that up while you guys keep talking. But oh my gosh,
Yes. So that reminds me of that random line in the B movie where like
You like
it's at a
jazz?
low, it's at a this is not a movie that made me cry, but in the B movie when they're he's like what do we do, Barry? And this is a kids movie, and Barry's like, I don't know. What about a suicide pact? And then we're like, oh my gosh, this movie.
dude. Okay,
Uh,
I'm pulling this up, and I'm not exactly sure that they fade away. I feel like I maybe mix that up.
you were watching it at 3 a.m. So
Yeah,
who knows?
they hold hands and they die. That's what it says. I thought they faded away, but maybe not. I guess I was wrong on that. I don't know. Maybe I should search this up better. But continue on.
My last one that I'm going to talk about. This is one that I don't think it got me when I saw this in theaters, but it's been one that I go back every now and then and like rewatch this scene because I don't know why, but it's an action scene. but it just like it gives me like so many like goosebumps at once that I like get emotional watching it. I don't know, and the music building and stuff like that.
The Prince of Egypt when he pushes that guy off.
Yeah, you know, when he kills the guy on the scaffolding. No, so it is. This is the movie. You guys hate this movie, so
Oh no,
it's funny.
it's the Bourne movie.
The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
No, okay, I do not hate
With
that.
Andrew
I don't hate that
Garfield.
movie.
I do not hate
What?
that movie, bro.
Oh,
Dude,
awesome.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
So it's the scene for me where it's in Times Square and Electro's coming out, and this is like, it's like from this point up to this point in the movie, it's like a good movie. But from this point, after this scene, everything just tanks, and it's like the worst movie ever. But
You're like, you guys hate this movie. No,
after
we
that
like
point,
it. Okay, so it's good until I hate it.
yes, the first half is phenomenal and it tanks, but I still have a soft spot for specifically this scene. I don't know what happened, but I just went back and I was thinking one day, like in college or something, like, dang, that was an awesome scene. And I remember this being one of the first movies that I like went out with friends and saw in theaters. That was like a, you know,
Where were we?
I don't know, superhero movie or something. I don't know. I don't think you guys were there, but I didn't want. You know, I got invited to go see this movie by like a couple of like older guys, and I was like, oh dang, this is awesome. But so anyways, I rewatched the scene in college, and it's a scene with Electro in Times Square. And he doesn't know what's going on. He's scared, and Spider-Man's trying to calm him down. But like a sniper shoots at Electro, and Electro, I guess, thinks it's, you know, Spider-Man was like trying to
Set him up.
You know, he was trying to set him up. He's like, "You set me up." And one of he gets shocked, and one of his web shooters is out. So he's down to one.
Yeah.
He's down to one web shooter, and there's a guy that's about to get crushed, and he thwicks out like the one and with one web and like pulls him back. And then it goes to this shot where Electro is about to like electrocute everything, like in the scene basically, and it goes super slow motion, like it's just a completely still frame, and it's just the music, and it shows everything around him. It shows like a car behind him and a guy about to get hit, and all these people on these stairs, and it's like a Spidey sense like freeze frame, like it's showing like he's sensing like everything around him and like what's about to happen, and it's just like a peak Spider-Man moment for me, and I love Spider-Man. So he's sensing like everything. These two people about to like reach for the railings and about to get shocked, and this guy about to get hit by the car. So he leaps, like does this backflip, and he splits the web off of one hand, so it like catches the car, and then he does another backflip back to the people on the stairs, and he, what even I don't know how he does this with one hand, but he you know, super slow motion. I just love it, because sometimes in Spider-Man his reaction time is just like insane, and it's like almost hard to watch when they're like moving so fast in a Spider-Man scene. But I love that they slowed this down. So he shoots out a web towards the one guy, and then he like uses his other hand to like throw a web the other direction and like catch the other lady and like pulls them back towards himself at the same time. So like no one gets hurt, and he lands like right as the music like hits big. And it just, I don't know why, but like several times I've gone back and watched that scene, and just like tears like spring to my eyes, and I don't know why. It's just so epic, and it gets me every time.
It's the most actiony like scene that you can possibly think of, and Peter's over there in the corner just, oh, no.
I'm just crying, yeah. But it's like Spider-Man like desperately trying to like save everybody.
Yes.
And it's like just a peak. He's like at the peak of his ability and powers, and I love it.
Dude, the fact that you talked about Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, and the scene out of that entire movie that made you cry was this one. What about Gwen's death, dude? Oh my!
That's what I'm talking about. Like sad things don't get me emotional.
I know. And
most of the time.
And honestly, I know The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is a trash movie. We established that, but it's also so good. It's just there's so many good redeeming things in that movie.
Yeah. And its redemption, I think that'll do it for me more than like sad moments. Like I would say another similar moment was in No Way Home, which spoiler warning again.
Chevrolet, you haven't.
It's okay.
If you haven't seen any spoilers by now, Chevrolet, like
Have
I
you seen
applaud
spoilers?
you, but
Yeah.
you have to know somewhat.
There.
idea of what's
wait,
going
what
on.
did you see? It's okay. Spoiler warning.
I know
for
that
people
that
listening.
all of them are in the movie. And
Yes.
that's about it.
Yeah, you kind of have to know that by now.
Okay.
I mean, I
But
kind
there's
of knew
some
that
really,
before.
Yeah,
some really good Andrew Garfield moments.
I love
and,
Andrew Garfield.
and those
bro.
like that like redemption kind of gets me.
I know.
But
The-
anyways,
The Amazing Spider-Man 3 coming 2023, maybe, hopefully,
all right.
please.
I've been talking for way too long. So Chevrolet, your final pick is
All
the
right.
second.
So I'm gonna be a little teenage girl like Maziot, and I'm going to
Thank you.
pick
Thank you.
this one. It's called The Fault in Our Stars.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Not even I watched that movie.
So like
You're
honestly,
weak.
honestly, it was just like an emotional movie throughout. So like
You are weak.
I couldn't even tell you like a specific scene. It's just the whole thing. But I mean, it's just basically like
It
a
opens
girl.
up.
Yeah, no, it's a girl that has cancer, and she goes to a cancer meeting, and she falls in love with another dude who also has cancer, or well, he's in remission, and then basically he ends up getting cancer again, gets worse. He ends up dying, and she has to go to the funeral and is heartbroken.
This is how you make a great.
Thanks.
This is how you make a great sad movie. You ready? Two people are in love.
They
They
die.
they both have. Everybody has cancer, and
Bro.
and wait for it. Their dogs have cancer too,
No.
and they
And they're just like, there's so many like terrible qualities that the main characters have.
So they're toxic.
But it's okay because they're
They're
dying.
toxic.
So then they die and you cry. Peter, let's make this movie. Let's do it.
boom. The Weekly Peel
The movie.
season 1. Yeah, I don't know.
Side edition.
Oh, that's good. All right, is it me? Is it my
Yeah.
final one?
Last
final
pick,
one.
baby.
All right, I need to make a quick choice. All right, I'm gonna do this. You ready? I'm gonna go. This is probably the first movie I cried in. Honestly, it might be. I remember going to the theaters as a kid. Like I just completely not expecting to cry at this movie at all. Toy Story 3. When right,
Okay.
amazing movie. It was so good. I was so excited. I was like, this movie's awesome. Lotso is a cool bad guy. Like everything's good about this movie. You got Ken and Barbie in a nursery, kindergarten place. You got Woody and Buzz and all the great characters. Like, all these characters they pulled from all the other movies. Like just like just so much screen time for all these awesome characters you get to meet. Things are great. I'm like, this is amazing. And then they like literally, you all know the scene. They get like thrown away or something. I don't remember how it happens. And they're going in the incinerator at the dump, and they're all just like heading down towards the fire, and they all just like look at each other, and they realize this is the end, and they just hold hands, and they just like they're ready to die. Dude, who the heck approved that for a kids movie? Oh my gosh, I was like,
It's nuts.
bro, I was just like sitting there like in tears, like no, they're gonna die. Like this movie was amazing, and now all of a sudden they're killing off these characters that we've loved since the 90s, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And then the little green aliens with the claw comes full circle, saves them, and they're fine.
Full circle.
And they make it to another movie. but yeah, that really had me in tears.
Come on, baby.
All right,
That's
did you guys have any other ones or no?
Yes, I actually have one more. I just thought of it. It is so you guys all have seen Saving Private Ryan, or at least the
have
opening
not.
scene, right?
Nope.
Yeah.
I need
Are you-
to.
Yeah, we've all seen it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh! But there's another one made by Steven Spielberg, and it is
The Big
and
Friendly
it
Giant.
is no, no, it's not. It is a TV series. It's called Band of Brothers. There's a specific scene in it. It's following, I don't know the proper term, regimen or whatever it is, but they eventually get to a concentration camp, and they're liberating a concentration camp, and all the American soldiers are just there, and they just see everything that's that's happening to the Jewish people.
Dude.
And they just see everyone that's like starving, people who are crawling, people who are like skinny, anorexic. They're opening it up. They just see the living conditions, and like you can just see the emotions on the soldiers' faces, and they're just in shock and awe of exactly what has happened here throughout this entire time. They're like, we didn't know that this was happening.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's rough. Dang.
That's nuts.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, now these all make. I was gonna go over real quickly mine, but this makes it all kind of pale in comparison. I cried at the end. Well, I talked about. I can only imagine. The Good Dinosaur. Did you guys see that?
No.
I recently watched that because I was like, this movie's gonna be stupid, and then it was rough. It was like the kid's dad dies, everything goes wrong in his life. It's really sad. When Spider-Man gets snapped away in Infinity War, I don't want to go, dude. I cried. Let's see. Did I say the end of Chuck? The end of that show. I cried at the end of that. That was wild. Again, one of those things.
You love Chuck, dude.
I know. I finished it in the middle of the night, and I was primed and ready. Braveheart. Cried at the end of that movie when he dies for freedom. Jojo Rabbit.
Jojo Rabbit's good.
Have you guys?
Jojo Rabbit's good.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
When he realizes that his mom died or got killed.
Yeah, that is rough.
That's
a brutal
I
scene.
was not expecting it at all. It came out of I kind of had a feeling she was gonna die or something, but just the way he's just going down the street and then all of a sudden he looks over and he just sees her shoes. Oh man, that was rough.
Scarlett Johansson died too many times that year.
Yeah.
In the cinema.
So true. And the one it's probably the roughest, mostly heart wrenching, gut wrenching, whatever that word is, whatever that term is, scene that I've seen in a movie, the most well acted, just response to a death was Shutter Island. No, you thought I was gonna say Spider-Man. No, that was the best death scene. That was the best death. Oh, sorry. Okay.
Spoilers.
I'm sorry. And,
Everybody dies.
Han Solo dies.
No, but oh no. And no, but the hardest thing to watch was Shutter Island. I don't know if you guys have seen
Which
that movie.
scene are you talking about?
First of all, fantastic movie.
Oh, I just remembered.
Yes. So when
Okay.
can I spoil?
Can we go into this? This is pretty brutal.
I don't want to go too much into it. Have you seen it?
No, but it's okay if you tell me.
Well, I'm not going to go into
You
too
need
much.
to
You
see
really
that
need to.
movie,
You love it.
Chef.
So
I am. I probably actually will watch
I'm not
this
gonna.
when
So
we're done here.
it shows a character how he went crazy. They're on. That doesn't spoil anything. They're on an island with a bunch of crazy people, and it shows what brought him to that moment. And there's kids, like his kids died in a very, very crazy way at the hands of somebody very unexpected for a very unexpected reason, and just his response literally I almost turned off the movie. It was so difficult to watch. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And I was just
that's a tough one,
dude, and the acting, the reaction to it is I don't think I've ever seen a more realistic. You know what I'm saying? I think the best death acted scene is the one that we talked about, Peter, from another movie that we're not going to spoil on last week's episode. That was the most well acted, but the reaction was dude, this is real. It felt like it was so real.
I'm I forgot about this movie. I'm having PTSD.
Yeah, I know. It wrecked me. Oh my word.
Yeah.
Craziness. Man, we had.
All right. Moving on.
We ended on the worst possible note. Oh my gosh.
All right. So we're almost at an hour now, so we should breeze through some of these. We're gonna do resolutions, right?
Yes.
Briefly.
Very
all right.
briefly.
So let's get into a couple of quick New Year's resolutions. John, you want to start?
Which John?
Maz.
Oh, Maz.
Yeah, I was gonna say which one.
Which one? This year, one of my resolutions is to peel more often. For the listeners, you know what I mean? We got to shoot the breeze more so they don't have to.
So what does that mean?
That means no weeks off, baby. Maybe some weeks.
We've been doing really good for a long time now.
I know.
We've probably only missed 1 week in the last 10.
Let's go. And I also, this is kind of a more serious one. I would like to complete the Bible this year. I came really close one year. I've read everything, but not in order all the way through in a year. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
I'm ready to do it.
I thought we were gonna do a funny one.
My funny one was the peel.
That was the funny one.
Oh.
Also,
So
I'm gonna shave my head. I'm not gonna do that.
Hey,
I'll shave your head. I'm gonna shave John's head. That's I am on a more real note. Like, I want to create more videos that I'm proud of.
Ooh.
If you don't know me very well, I'm like a videographer. I do a lot of like freelance stuff, but I really value having like good, meaningful videos, and I want to unleash more of that.
Unleash.
Creativity this coming year. And then secondly, I'm going to begin taking all of my paychecks in Dogecoin.
Yes.
It's time.
Dude.
Good,
Oh, I
good.
want to add one.
No, you can't. You can't.
Oh, dang it.
Next year.
You have next year, man.
I want to make a cryptocurrency from the peel. That's what
Oh, wow.
Let's go.
The peel coin.
The peel coin. Yeah. So I have
Patassicoin.
Throwing
Throwing that in there. Sorry.
No, that's so good.
Patassa coins.
Sorry, Jeff.
No, that's good. Just like Maz, I also have a plan. Like I wanna read the Bible in a year.
Let's go.
Nice.
But another serious, like kind of serious one is, the guys know me pretty well. I love traveling and I love doing just like random spontaneous things. And so my goal is I want 2022 to be my most like spontaneous, but also like travel filled year I've had like ever. So like, I think that would be a lot of fun. And,
Didn't last year you like went to almost every state?
I went to like half the states in the U.S. I still have like the upper half.
What about the
and then
ones
Hawaii.
not in the U.S.? You thought about it way too long.
I was like, what do you mean by this? but really on a serious note, ideally all the money that I make at the funeral home, I just want to get all of my paychecks and convert it all into Bitcoin, and that'll be my payment.
Nice. That's a good
Same
one.
here, bro.
Yeah.
Same resolution.
It is gonna be a crypto year. All right. You know what, boys? Let's say some thank yous.
I want to say thank you in 2021 to Jeff Bezos for showing us how to quit while you're ahead and then launch yourself into space.
I just want to say thank you to 2021 for being a lot less painful than 2020.
I too want to say thank you for 2021. I want to thank my parents and my friends, but most of all, I want to thank Elon Musk for helping me get that money with the increase of his stock price from Tesla.
I, for one, also want to thank 2021. And Mark. Oh,
No, go ahead. I thought you were done.
and Mark Zuckerberg and Meta for changing the trajectory of the entire internet towards something that nobody really wants or understands.
I'd like to thank you to all the movies that made me cry this year, because I actually watched most of these movies this year. Thank you, 2021, for the tears, the pain, and not being as bad as 2020. Here's to you, 2022. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next week.